Hello everyone, I'm Chair RM. Before we proceed to our new lesson, do not forget to subscribe, like, and click the notification bell. Thank you so much.
Our lesson for today's video is all about variation. So what is variation? A variation is a relation between a set of values of one variable and a set of values of other variables. So we have different kinds of variation. Ito nga yung pag-aaralin natin ngayon. So we have direct variation and inverse variation. When we say direct variation, we have here for any quantities x and y, as x increases in value, y increases. Or as x decreases in value, y decreases also. Unlike in inverse variation, for any quantities x and y, an increase in x causes a decrease in y, or vice versa. Another indirect variation, we have the statement y varies directly as x. Another, we have y is directly proportional to x, means that y equals kx, or this is the mathematical equation for that. And then wherein k is the constant of variation. And then for inverse variation, the statement is y varies inversely to x. And then another one is y is inversely proportional to x. And then the equation, or the mathematical equation, is y equals k over x, where k is the constant of variation also. Now, let us apply direct and inverse variation in our daily lives. So we have the first one, if a kilo of rice costs 30 pesos, you have to pay 60 pesos for 2 kilos. Okay. And then we have this one, 90 pesos for 3 kilos of rice. We have here. Then let us have a table of values to differentiate direct and inverse variation. But start muna tayo dun sa direct variation. Using x as our kilos of rice and y as our pesos, if you buy 1 kilo, you have to pay 30 pesos. Then, if you have to buy 2 kilos of rice, you have 60 pesos, and so on and so forth. So, as you can see, in this table of values, if x is increases in value, y is also increases in value. Then, take note that there is direct variation whenever a situation produces pairs of numbers in which their ratio is constant. If you simplify 60 and 2, so you have also 1 is to 30. We have 1 is to 30 or 30 is to 1. 90 over 3 is also 30 is to 1. And then we have 4 over 120 or 120 over 4 is equal also to 30 is to 1. So, and then the constant of variation here is 30. And then for inverse variation, the example is it takes 8 hours to one woodworker to build and curve a cabinet. If another woodworker help him, the time needed to finish a cabinet is reduced to 4 hours. Pag naman 3 woodworkers ang gagawa, matatapos nila yung trabaho ng 8 over 3 hours and so on. So let us have a table of values for that example. So as you can see, we have here x, yan yung bilang ng woodworker. And then, yung y natin, yun yung oras. So, pag inverse variation naman, inverse variation occurs whenever a situation produces pairs of numbers whose product is constant. So, if you multiply the ordered pair of numbers o yung value ng x and y, the product is 8. And then, 2 times 4 is also 8, as well as 3 times 8 over 3, 4 times 2, and 5 times 8 over 5. So, kung napansin nyo din na if x is increases in value, ano yung napansin nyo sa y? So, y is decreases naman. Kabaligtaran naman siya ng direct variation. Dito sa direct variation natin, kung napansin nyo yung table of values, if x is increases, y is also increases. While dito sa inverse variation na table of values, if x is increases, then the value of y is decreases. Let us have another sample for direct variation and inverse variation. Yung unang sample natin, we have if y varies directly as x. So, ito yung ating mathematical statement. And then, we have y is 15 when x is equal to 3. So, pag kukunin mo yung constant of variation, ang gagamitin mo muna ay yung first set of values natin or first set of ordered pairs of number. Then, after that, pag meron na tayong constant of variation, then na isulat mo na yung equation of variation, dun pa lang natin hahanapin yung value ng y natin. So, let us find the value of y when x equals 5. Okay, let us have our solution. For our solution, of course, we have mathematical statement y varies directly as x. So, the mathematical equation is y equals kx. So, we have y equals kx. Then, after that, we will substitute the value of y, which is 15, and then x, which is 3. Yan. So, isa-substitute natin. So, we have y is equal to 15 and then the value of x is 3. Then after that, let us solve for the value of our k. So we divide the both side of the equation by 3. So we have k is equal to 15 divided by 3. So 15 divided by 3, the answer is 5. So if k is equal to 5 or the constant of variation is 5, therefore, the equation of variation is y equals 5x. Then, all you have to do to be able to get the value of our y here, we will substitute the value of x in our equation of variation. So, we have to find y if x equals 5. Let us substitute the value of x, which is 5. So, we have 5 times 5. So, the value of our y is equal to 25. So, y equals 25 if x is equal to 5. That is now the final answer. So, we have y is equal to 25. Now, let us proceed to inverse variation. We have if b varies inversely as a. So, we have if b varies inversely as a. This is our mathematical statement again. And then to solve for the constant of variation, we are using the first set of values or ordered pair of numbers. We have b equals 9 and a equals 4. So let us solve. For the solution, of course, this is the inverse variation. So the mathematical statement is b is equal to k over a. And then after that, we will substitute the value of b, which is 9, and then a is 4. So let us substitute. So b is 9, and then our a is 4. Then after that, let us get the value of constant variation. So the constant of variation, or K, is equal to 36. Now let us write the equation of variation. Okay, so the equation of variation is B equals 36 over A. So all you have to do is to substitute the value of our K in our mathematical statement here. So we are using this mathematical statement, or mathematical equation rather, and then we will substitute the value of K here. So we have B equals 36 over A. And then let us find B when A is equal to 3. So we have find B when A is equal to 3. Substitute the value. So A is equal to 3. You will change the value of A here into 3. So we have 36 divide 3. Then the final answer is B is equal to 12. This is the value of B when A is equal to 3. Okay, that is for inverse variation. And then we can also apply word problems in direct variation and inverse variation. We have in problem number 1, Julio's wages varies directly as the number of hours that he works. So that is the mathematical statement. If his wage for 5 hours is 1,000 pesos, how much will be there, or will there be in 30 hours? Then another, problem number 2, the number of days needed in repairing a house varies inversely as the number of men working. So this is the mathematical statement. The number of days needed in repairing a house varies inversely as the number of men working. Then we have, it takes 15 days for 2 men to repair the house. How many men or how many men are needed to complete the job in 6 days? Okay, we will solve for that.
Okay, so let us solve the two problems for problem number 1. So problem number 1 is an example of direct variation. Then of course, first we have to draw a table of values. The first one is for Julio's wages or for hours. And then Y is for the wages o yung sahod niya. Then for hours, we have 5 hours. And then the second one is 30 hours. And then the wages for 5 hours is 1,000. And then this is missing. The wages for 30 hours. Then of course, because this is direct variation, so we have Y varies directly as X. So we have to write Y equals KX. Then all you have to is to substitute the first pair of numbers. We have Y is 1,000 is equal to K. Isusulat mo lang uli yung K. And then isa-substitute mo yung value ng X, which is 5. And then, of course, para ma-eliminate yung 5 dito, i-divide mo lang yung both side by 5. So, cancel 5. And then, we have to divide 1,000 divided by 5. And the answer is 200. So, yung 200 natin dito, ito yung ating constant of variation. So kung K yung ating constant of variation, yung equation of variation natin ay magiging Y equals 200 then times X. So as you can see, gamitin ngayon natin itong 30. Dahil yung 30 yung value ng X, ipapalit natin siya dito para makuha natin yung wages ni Julio. So we have 200 times 30. So we have Y is equal to 200 times 30 and the answer is 6,000. So it means that
we have 6,000 pesos wages of Julio. In just 30 hours. Okay, so this is the answer. 6,000 pesos wages of Julio in 30 hours. That is the answer for number 1. So we have problem number 2. Problem number 2 is an example of inverse variation. Wherein again, let us draw a table of values. The first one is x followed by y. Then x is the number of days. Then second one is number of man needed. Okay. So we have the number of days is 15 and the second one is 6. So the number of men needed is 2. Then this is missing. Okay. So now this is inverse variation. So the mathematical equation is y is equal to k over x. Then of course, let us substitute 15 and 2 to our mathematical equation to get the constant of variation. So y is 2 is equal to, we have k, and then we have 15 as our x. So now the value of our k is 30. If the constant of variation is 30, so the equation of variation now is y is equal to 30 over x. This is the equation of variation. Then let us substitute the value of x, which is 6 here. Papalitan lang natin yung x ng 6 to find y. So y is equal to 30 over 6. Then divide, y is equal to 5. So the answer is 5. So we have 5 men needed to complete the job in 6 days. So this is 5. And that is our answer for problem number 2.
That's the end of our video. Keep safe and God bless.